Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? So, are you guys looking for leads and more appointments in your business? Would you like to get those leads without paying money for ads? Well, today I'm talking to my friends Sean and Chris Baden, or Chris Baden and Sean Malone, the owners and founders of a new, exciting new social media messaging tool called Flowchat. And over the next few minutes, these guys, I'm going to put them to the test. They told me they could get 1,000 leads in any niche and start real conversations with those leads in under 30 minutes. So hopefully we'll have some people join us today and we can put them to the test and see if they crash and burn or they're victorious. So if you're looking for leads, if you're looking for appointments, you want to do it faster, you want to do it more efficiently, and you don't want to have to pay Facebook or Google to do it, then stick around today because this is going to be a fun one. Welcome, and Chris and Sean. Thank you guys for joining us. Why don't we kick this thing off by having you guys tell our audience who you guys are and how Flowchat got started.
I saw Sean mute, so I guess I'm up here, up to bat first. Yep. So here's where Flowchat started. We had a problem, Ron, and we had a mastermind that we were bringing to market. We're like, how should we sell this mastermind? Should we do a summit? Should we do a challenge? Should we do a webinar? Paid ad? Oh, check us out. Here we go. Like, how should we do it? And we've done all the things. We're like, what if we just talk to people? What if we just talk to people? Like, reach out to the right people, have a real conversation, build real rapport, real connection. And so we did. And in fact, what happened was, and we didn't like build the course yet, we haven't done any of those things. What happened was we started talking to people, and 6 weeks later, we wrote over $100,000 in business. And we're like, oh, it turns out this isn't too bad. This is pretty easy. So we started building teams and systems around it. And that's once upon a time spreadsheet and VAs, like that's all morphed into looking for this endless, tireless hunt for different tech and software. It gets all like painful and crazy and confusing. We just solved our own problem, and that's essentially Flowchat. That's the quick version. Sean, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that sprung up last night. What I call Flowchat is a 20-year overnight success. It's been a project that Chris and I have been working on now for the almost 3 decades. And it comes from just a total combination of when we started our journeys. Like both Chris and I started in the high ticket sales game, right? We both started out as commission sales guys. And what we realized was the methods that we learned through our journey of hardship and learning this game called sales. The fundamental core thing is connecting with people. And when you can connect with people on a genuine level, you're always going to turn deals over. And so when we came in the online space, one of the things we were thinking about was like, how do we do that? How do we connect genuinely? And we tried paid ads, and we tried summits, and we tried challenges, and we tried all these things. And what we found was it wasn't quite as genuine as we were hoping. You know, like I've purchased from clicking down the rabbit hole of a paid ad. But I've never purchased from, like, say, an automated message ever sent to me from a bot. And the only thing I've ever purchased from is an actual other person or a very convincing sales page. And so we were like, well, how do we generate that genuine and organic, authentic conversation, but do it in a way that really, really makes a lot of sense? And talking to people and then building a tool around doing that is where we got to.
Awesome. So just a little question for our audience. I see we got a few people here. Who here is using social media to book appointments? Social media, Messenger, the DMs to book appointments. Drop us a comment if you are. Yes. So, and also if you are interested in letting these guys putting these guys to the test in your niche, please drop your niche, your name. Put your name in here because we're in StreamYard. I'm not sure we can see your names in here. Make sure you drop your name in and your niche, and we'll put these guys to the test. So one of the questions that I kind of have for our audience is, can you talk a little bit about your strategy when it comes to using Flowchat to generate leads, appointments for your business?
Yeah, well, again, it's starting with solving our own problem. Lead acquisition can be really time consuming. In fact, I promise any business owner that's done this for any period of time, you will spend money and you will spend time. Like there's no shortcut. The question is, what's the least amount of time and what's the least amount of money to acquire? and the most quality and the highest LTV, lifetime value of a customer. What's the best method? And so we've like tried all these different methods, and the one that we enjoy the most and is this organic one that's built all around Flowchat. This was just some tool that we were using in our own business, and then our clients started asking more and more about that, and it's just been taking off. And so what does that look like? Well, two things very simply. Number one, first, you have to have the people to talk to, the right people, not the client. And I'd be curious to hear everyone. Hannah, hey, thanks for dropping your name. Residential realtors, yes. Brian, SMB and enterprise, awesome. So, hey, for you guys listening, have you ever had that client that you're working with, and you're like, man, life would have been so much better if I never even had this client. Like, it's not even worth the money. It's frustrating, right? So it's like, how do we find not those people, but the right people? Well, Flowchat, and we'll get to do a little demonstration, I think, at some point here, Ron, but we can just show you how we're finding, like, the patterns that we're finding on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, whatever platform you like, how to import and find those ideal customers in a list. And then we take that list and we go to one of the best places to build connection and relationship. In fact, 80 to 90% open rates is what it gets. And this place also has like 25 times higher click-through rates than email and other options. So we're looking at this, we're like, whoa, these numbers, this attention is higher than other tools and strategies, and it's direct messaging. It's chat. So we'll deploy chat sequences to build know, like, and trust. But you know what we're also doing? We're qualifying. We're qualifying people. There's some people that we're just chatting with, and we're like, ooh, yeah, this isn't the right fit. Bullet dodged, right? So when it comes to this acquisition conversation, Ron, appreciate you having us on. We have way too much developed thought on how to do it, but I don't know, Sean, other thoughts you want to add there?
Yeah, I mean, Ron, going back to your original question, is how do we use it in our business? We have a variety of different ways that we use it. You know, we use the engine Flowchat to actually deploy to all of the major socials, because it works on all of the major socials. And so that we like to build tribe and community, right? We've been in Russell Brunson's inner circle for 5+ years and love everybody. And that's our family in the online space. And one of the things they always taught us was, hey, you got to build a big tribe. And so we thought, what better place than to house it in a Facebook group? And so we started building a Facebook group using the tool itself. And so when we first started, it was just me and Chris. There was two of us. We had 2 hours a day each, besides all the other business stuff that we were doing, to run the software tool. And we started from zero, and we drove people into our Facebook group, and then had a genuine and authentic and original conversation with them, weeded out some of those bullets like Chris talked about, and then invited the ones that we believe that we could serve at a high level into a quick call. And we would jump on a phone call. And then, of course, Chris and I have been in the sales game for a long time. Combined, I think we're close to probably $200 million in sales between the both of us, just selling everything we've ever done over our journey. And so we were able to convert a lot of people, right? I'm not saying that's good or bad or indifferent. What I'm saying is, like, the method we used is direct outreach to people we'd never met, made sure they're a good fit, invited them to our Facebook group, got onto a phone call. And then if they were the right fit where we could solve a problem, we got them involved. And that's one method, right? We had other methods where that was a Facebook strategy. There's a LinkedIn strategy where you can invite people to an event. Maybe if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, or even if you're a podcaster and you like to speak on podcasts and events like this, man, we actually built and tested, tried and true, and worked out a couple of these pipeline flows to grow the ability to be a guest on a bunch of podcasts. Or maybe you're building your own channel, and you could do the same thing and get the valued guests onto your podcast.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, that was perfect. So, all right, I think it's time, guys. You ready?
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. So I love Hannah. Thank you for making that comment. The first thing I'll say to you, we're going down the retirement and tax planning, which is going to be fun. But actually, last night we actually have another client of ours that is recruits realtors, and in fact, I actually built an exact flow just for that one last night. So just want to mention that. All right, back to you, Ron.
All right. So who's taking the reins here, Chris? Is this you?
Yep. So we're looking at my screen here. So the first one I saw was retirees, looking for tax planning. So I typed in almost that. Tax planning for retirees. If you want to go a step further, I'm doing a search on Facebook, just starting with Facebook. It's still the big player in the room. LinkedIn's obviously hot, and there's a lot of great trends on LinkedIn as well as Instagram and Twitter, but Facebook's great. So if you do all, you can also select groups and look at groups only. But look at this. I'm just saying, like, I just typed this in. It's the first result: retirement and tax planning help group. We're gonna click this. This happens to also be a public group, and I don't know the name. If it was Brian Hanna or someone else looking for retirees for tax planning, all these people are looking for this type of help. There's over 1,000, which is fortunately just over the number that we were looking to hit. And for here, we can simply select members. And what this is going to do is display the members in this group that are interested in retirement and tax planning help. And so with the Flowchart tool, we're a web-based company. 14 people on the team now. We're growing very quickly, but we also have a helpful extension. In this case, let's look at the extension. We can hit this auto scroll button. I always like to do the hand check test. See, look, Ma, no hand. Like, it's scrolling, but it's actually not me scrolling, right? So why does this matter? We can import all these members. Here's your 1,100 members. Hannah, Brian, or if you can drop your name in the chat. We just see Facebook user on our side. I like to liken it to the faithful Facebook user. So this being said, we can go somewhere else, right? We can go, different, tabs or whatever we're working on. We can come back here. Whatever's displayed here, we're using the tool, the Flowchart tool that we built. This is the software tool we built to go ahead and then select group members, and watch what happens. Boom. Facebook members added to our list. It's added to our clipboard. So we'd be able to take this list. What happens with that? Well, let's go in here. Let's go to import into Flowchart. Officially welcome to Flowchart, by the way. And I can show you, actually we'll have, we can walk through I'll have Sean walk us through the dashboard in a little bit. Sean, what we can do with my computer, I'll just have you talk through it. But on the import window here, are going into Facebook, and we're in a group, right? So we'll go to the import Facebook group section, and now we have all those members added to our clipboard. So we're just going to right click and hit paste, and look at that. All those, oh, sorry, I didn't hit the button properly. But clicking through here, I'll go back and do it so we can see it. We'll hit group members, add to the clipboard like this, and then when we go here, we can import all those members right here, all those profiles that are loading. We can even add a tag right here, right? So hashtag, retirees, right? Or maybe it's just like, tax planning, right? So we know, hey, this is a tax planning campaign that we're running. We can import them into a specific pipeline and hit start importing right away. So it's pretty fast, pretty clean. And you might be wondering, what is a pipeline? Sean, do you want to talk about what a pipeline is a little bit?
Yeah. So as Chris is doing that, so again, like the whole purpose of this is how do we go to the market and find those exact people that we want to message? And once we find those people, we'll just do a quick importation into our system, and then we can generate authentic conversation. That's where the pipeline piece comes in. So this is kind of what a pipeline looks like. And so all of those people that have come from some particular place you found on any of the social channels, I believe there's about 17 ways to import people into our system, which is the only software of its kind that does as much as it does. And we would drop all those people into that first column on this pipeline. And the objective is each column is one particular touch point with that particular prospect. So experts and psychologists tell us 7 to 12 touch points equals good likability, trustability, and then buying threshold. Little did you know this. I don't know if you do know this, but 80% of deals are closed after the 13th touch point with a prospect. Let me say that again. 80% of deals are closed on or after the 13th touch point in a conversation. And so when we build a pipeline flow, if each one of these columns represents one touch point, you can see my first one is going to be a friend request. So for example, I would click on Joyce or JR or any one of those cards there that Chris has on his page in the Facebook icon there. That's going to take me to that person's profile. I can very quickly determine if this person's a probable fit for me or not. Right. And if I determine that he is or she is a probable fit, all I'm going to do is hit that friend request. Just add that friend right there, that blue button. If we know she's a good fit, we would click that button just like that. And we would just go back over into Flowchart. And now the next thing is, Chris has sent too many friend requests today. Yeah, that happens. That's a limitation on Facebook, not in Flowchart.
That's good. It means our team actually did they completed their task already for today, so that's good.
Yeah. And once we've sent the friend request, we just very simply click, drag, and drop that card, right? So it's just like Trello or Asana or any of these like pipeline features where you're wanting to drag cards from left to right. And the objective is to take those cards from all those different touch points all the way down to when they actually make a purchase, or you get them on a call, or you get them as a guest on your podcast. And it's just through chatting conversation. And the beauty of this is you don't have to know how to write masterful copywriting. You don't have to be able to build a sales page or a website or even a funnel. You don't have to do any of that because you're already chatting. You've been chatting your whole life. And that's what's the beauty of this Flowchat system, is because you can just take what's in your brain and drop it into these little instant messages, and boom, you create that very, very strong likability, authentic and real. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, so like, and you can see that it continues. Like, this is a Facebook flow where you can invite somebody into your community, into your world, your network, right? Oftentimes that's a Facebook group, and there's scheduled follow-up done over a period of time. This isn't like trying to remember people in Messenger and letting them slip through the cracks. Let us know, like in the comments, like, are you guys using chat already to acquire any type of business? We can hit like SMB enterprise, Brian, if you want to elaborate a little bit more specifically what industry that is. Like that could, could be e-com, could be agency owners, could go a couple different directions. And Hannah, on residential realtors, looking at local city groups, Facebook groups, local city hashtags on LinkedIn, Instagram, you can easily find content that like geographically people are consuming, and you can start building relationship with them. Let's look at what that looks like a little bit though, because this, like each column as you're looking at this is the next step by step in the sales process. Okay, and each card is obviously a lead, someone that we're talking to. So if we're talking to Ricky here, and this conversation's happening on Facebook, so if we click this button right here, my computer is loading slow, streaming live, but it will load here. There we go. So click the messenger button on Ricky. A lot of things are happening. Number one, it's going directly to my one-on-one conversation with Ricky. The other thing that it's doing, it's adding the next message to my clipboard that would be sent. And since actually this will be interesting to see which one it added, just because there we go. It's, man, clipboard stuff like with the lag is not helping me out today. So that was actually all the lists that we were putting in the other one. But if we're talking here, like someone joins the Facebook group link, it's adding the next message in the sequence to the clipboard. So by clicking Messenger, it's adding that clipboard there. And here's the big punchline. When we're sitting in Messenger and you're talking to Jeff, Bob, Kyle, and Sarah from 2 weeks ago, that alone 2 months ago, we're not going to remember that we were talking to them, and certainly where they're at in the sales process. Like, we'd have to sit here and scroll for a really long time to remember them. And now we can just go right to the conversation, right click and paste. It'll load. Son of a gun. It's like really frustrating.
I think that's your machine. You want me to run it, Chris?
I love that GIF, by the way. You need to send me that GIF.
Oh, the elephant. Yeah, we love putting GIFs in our sequences. Here's what we can do. We can show you this way. Assigning templates is like we have a whole template library, and so each column has their own template assigned. And so what you can see is all the different messages that we've put together. And so this allows putting team and system in place. So if we hover just over here, you can see that the message that is going to be sent is just a really simple one. Hi, first name. It'll auto-populate the first name for you. Just checking in. Were you able to, jump into the group yet, right? It's helpful follow-up. In fact, two quick stories. One is we have Fabi, who's in our Flowchat fam and our community branding agency. She was doing about 50, 60,000, per month in sales. And she was doing paid ads to Facebook group to call. After implementing Flowchat, after 2 months, she had done over $200,000 in sales. And I was talking with her. I was like, Fabi, what was the change? Like why was there a big boost in revenue? She said, people weren't slipping through the cracks anymore. because there was a systematic way of bringing people, it was bringing people column by column and sending the messages. People weren't being forgotten in the abyss of Messenger. And she could pay somebody $5-6 an hour to very easily send the next message and attend to everyone. So it was really useful in that way. Anything I'm missing here, Sean?
Well, yeah, no,
I know you guys are both using it too. So
yeah, I don't know. I think there's some sort of like a little bit. You're slow on your video audio feed there for a sec, Chris. I don't know if it's your machine or whatever it is. So I could take it over whenever we need to if that's necessary. But yeah, no, I would just say, like what this is, guys. This is the easy way to manage thousands of conversations, never let anyone get slipped through the cracks, and be able to consistently have the right next step in every single next conversation without putting mind time to it. Because let's be honest, I mean, if 83% of small and medium-sized businesses use Messenger in some capacity to help them to close deals. 83%, that's a majority. And so when we looked at the market, we were like, well, which of these big CRM systems actually deal with that? And we couldn't find one. We went to all of them. And so then we're like, okay, so there's no big CRMs. Let's look at extensions. And so we started buying up all these extensions and went through all of them. And what we found was something really, really interesting. All of these extensions were designed and built by marketer brains, not sales brains. See, Chris and I are from the old school sales brain side. That's where we grew up. That's what we did. So when we looked at these tools, they were all built by marketing brains. Here's what I mean. They're great at saying, maybe grabbing somebody from a group and saying, hey, happy birthday, right? And they can almost do that automatically. There's some of that botness in there. And that's great. But the problem is if that thing starts running for you and now you have 10,000 conversations that you've started, how do you know which one's where? How do you organize all of that? And that's where the majority of all those extensions kind of fell down. And so when Chris and I, because originally we wanted to buy versus build, we were like, no, we can't buy because there's nothing that meets the need. And so we built Flowchat. And then we added on some really kick-ass cool stuff like, here's the reporting of how your message sending is going. Where do you have reporting for message sending and how effective your messages are being in any system? Like, I've never heard of another one. And so we can actually click a button and look at how many messages are sent, how many were actually delivered to, the next stages along in the pipeline. We can look at percentages, we can see, and then we can make very, very educated guesses on how we need to tweak and tune our messaging, right? So that's great. If you're looking to tune your messaging from the beginning, you can take that and put it onto a sales page. Or if you just have great messaging running through, then your system is optimized and now it's time to scale. And so that gave us all of the power that we needed. So Flowchat really, in its essence, does three things. Number one, we can go out and grab thousands of people in an instant, in an afternoon, that match the criteria that you're looking for to close deals with, if that's what you're trying to go after. Secondly, we tee up a messaging conversation that's very simple. It's based on a direct message chat thread, which can be set up, very, very quickly, less than 10, 15 minutes. And then we just send messages. So find the people, write the message that you want to send to them, set it up in a pipeline so you can keep track of everything and send messages. That's it. And it's so simple and it's so powerful. And usually the most simple ideas are the ones that crush it the hardest for everybody. Isn't that right, Ron?
That's right. That is totally right. Everybody tries to overcomplicate everything. And that's when as entrepreneurs, we all try to overcomplicate things, especially me.
Yeah, well, there's and that question. So I have to have a Facebook group first? No, absolutely. You do not have to have a Facebook group whatsoever, right? You can actually set up one of these pipelines to just drive directly to booking a calendar event with you where they can have a chat with you. We have a lot of members in our tribe that don't have Facebook groups yet have massive, massive success. So no, you don't need one.
One of the things that I would love to dig into a little bit deeper is the different ways that you can import, because there's definitely some cool strategies that I use in my own business, and there's some new features coming out. I'm hoping very, very soon that I think is going to help a lot of people, book appointments, grow their groups, whatever they're trying to do. So, Chris, if you can show them like the likes and soon to be hopefully comments, or Sean, if you want to take it over, since
you may want to take a crack at it. Like I'm just trying to load Instagram. My computer's not doing it apparently. So
If I could just share, here we go. See if I can
it's
steal it
just at the
from you.
bottom. Yeah, just share screen. Oh, now it's loading, but
Oh, do you have to click on my? Hold on one sec. There. Can you see my screen? No,
Yeah.
Ron.
Here
Yeah.
we go. Okay, cool.
Okay, good. So we're in the software. You guys see the software now? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so we actually have 17 different ways to import. So I'll just run through a couple of these first so that you kind of have a full understanding of each and every one of these things. So as I mentioned, we play on all the majors, right? So we've got all the majors here. So depending on wherever you go, it doesn't matter. You can do it all. Plus you can upload stuff from other things and other places. So in Facebook, let's just start here. So any messages that you've ever sent to a potential prospect, we can click a couple of buttons and just import those message conversations right into the tool, and we can keep those things going, right? Any like. So let's say you want to turn your likes from a post on Facebook into a lead, like into lead. How do you create a like into a lead? Well, you use Flowchart because you can just go to your post and use our extension, which I'll run right up over here. You can see in Facebook right here, Chris already showed you this, you can actually click on likes and just import the likes directly into the system. So any post, whether it's a paid ad, it's just a piece of content that's gone viral, or even if it's somebody else's post, you can use the likes, which are higher engaged people, to import those people into your system and have a nice conversation with them. Your friends, right? What about your friends? You can go to your friends list. If they're a good target, no problem. Let's go there and move them into the tool and continue. Any Facebook group. Go ahead, Chris.
And Josh, I was just going to throw in one thing there. A really big thing, because a couple of comments are coming in here, I think are important to address. On the friends specifically, one of the best strategies of booking more calls and closing more deals is staying within your network. And what does that look like in a social environment? And when it comes to friends, yes, you can import your friends list, but you also can import lists of mutual friends. So you can go to other like friends, and then you can see like the mutual friends that they have in their network. You can import those and systematically, start reaching out and building rapport with those mutual friends, or maybe just reconnect because you guys already kind of know each other. That's usually really warm and kind of like a quick little hack that we're seeing some members do.
Absolutely. And we'll dive into some of that we can show in a minute. Okay, let's talk about Facebook groups, whether it's public, paid, private, anything. As long as your personal profile is a member of that group, you actually have the ability to grab or import all the members from that group and put them here in the tool, so you can start a very valid, authentic, and genuine conversation. That one's a game changer for a lot of people, right? Think about all the groups that have the complementary people in them. Say, for example, you sell electricity, or you sell say you're a plumber and you need an electrician. Well, if a plumber has a Facebook group, well, the electrician gets himself a license to Flowchart. They can go into the plumbers group and they can connect with all the people out of the plumbers group because they're complementary offers, right? If you need a plumber, you typically need an electrician. Comments. This is a brand new one that launched today. So if you have a very, so Ron's saying, wow, this launched today. What's this mean? Any post on Facebook that has comments, you can now go right to that post and you can grab every single, or you can collect every single member that's dropped a comment on your post, and you can import them right into the tool. That's pretty amazing.
Let me jump in here real quick. This is like one of my favorite strategies. That's why I'm so excited that you guys released this. So if you guys haven't checked out my post from last week, or my live from last week, where I talk about my 3 favorite traffic strategies, one of those is talking about Messenger Magic, which we use Flowchart in our process. And one of the strategies that I teach in that last live was where we do what's called a 2-step post. We post something that's kind of like a carrot on our profile. So it's like, I did it today on my profile. If you want to go check it out, who wants to get 1,000 leads in any niche today? Okay. And that generated like 7 comments. I've had some that have generated like 100, 250 comments. Now, what I can do with Flowchart is I can download or import all of those comments, have a messaging template and a messaging flow that I start to move those people through to get them to book an appointment, join my group, which is what I'm trying to do mostly now, is trying to get people in the group because I want to build a community. And that is an excellent strategy. So be sure you go back and watch that video from last week. And if you end up working with Flowchat, this is a strategy you should definitely. Yep, there's a good example. 154 comments right there. So that's 154 people that are warm, that want the cheat sheet that I'm offering there, and that starts a conversation, and then that can turn into booking appointments.
Yep.
So powerful.
Yeah.
And there was a comment there again. Can't quite see the name. What's the max you can import, Sean?
There is no max other than the limit of the size of the account that you get, right? So depending on what the requirement is, I mean, like how many do you need? The conversation becomes more so not how many leads can we collect in a single instance, but rather what's the capacity of your current servitude? How much can you serve? What's the capacity of how many clients you can actually have? And then we look at that number, and then we reverse engineer based on data that we know. And eventually we get to the place where we all of a sudden know we need to get exactly this amount of leads. And then that's it. And now you can go get that amount, and you can do it on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, whatever basis that you need to make sure that your business is continually full of great clients that you're serving.
And also there's some, sorry to interrupt, but there's also limitations just set by Facebook in general. So you should be probably only messaging like 30 to 40 at the most per day are new people. So if you're importing, you really don't need to import as many as you think you might.
Yeah, it's not. It's designed. I mean, like Facebook's limitation is if you're reaching out to somebody for the first time that you've never met, the limit's right around 30 or less a day. Okay, so that's 30, 60, 90, 120, 150 people every single week that you could put into your business and actually have wonderful conversations. But I'm going to ask you, like with your business, if you could speak to 150 perfect prospects every single week, what would that do to your business? Imagine the results you could get, even if you're able to close 5%, 2%, 10%. Imagine that, right? And that's really what's pretty powerful, right? So, okay. So we talked about groups, we talked about comments, which is cool. So LinkedIn, same thing. So any messages you've had, any likes on any post on LinkedIn here, you can collect or import people that have liked posts on LinkedIn, any connections you've ever made, any LinkedIn group, again, that you're ever been a part of, you can actually go in and collect the members there and import them. And the search is another new thing. You can actually search on LinkedIn for certain things, and now we can actually collect that group of people and import them in to the tool as well. Instagram, if you play here, the language of beauty, again, any of your current messages, no problem. We can just put them right into this tool. Secondly, any likes. So again, people that are engaging on other people's posts, you can go to those posts, click on the likes list, collect those people, and then import them here into Flowchat. And then this one's the biggest game changer for Instagram, in my personal opinion, is let's say you're selling mindset coaching as an example. And we know that Tony Robbins has followers, like millions of followers. Well, what if you could have a tool like this where you could go to Tony's profile, click on his followers list, and collect all those millions of people who are already really interested in mindset coaching, and you could deploy sequences that you know would be really true and right to the heart of the message that you need to deliver to the right people. Because when they hear your message, they want to get engaged with you, right? And then Twitter, same thing. So we've got people who your followers, or even the people that you're following, you can now build a Dream 100 following list, and you could go to Twitter and collect all those people and bring them into Flowchat, have a conversation. Imagine that. That's crazy, right? Same thing, likes, messages, it's all here. And we're going to continue to add other social platforms as we continue to develop and grow. We have a tech team that works around the clock with us and for us actually, and just crushes it. So these are kind of the quick ways to import. And again, I think we never really got to the full piece of this. So say, for example, I just want to show one example. So this is, we're on Ron's page. He's got this awesome post here, and there's 44 people that actually like the post. Well, what if we want to collect those? How quickly can we do this? We can click here one time, and then all of a sudden we just scroll down through those 44 people. Here we go. Now they're all on the page. I can see them all. And then I just go over to my tool, and I go to the Facebook section here, and I go to the likes, and I click likes. All those likes have been copied to my clipboard. I go back over to Flowchat, and I just go to Facebook likes, because that's what we just collected. And now we're going to import them in very, very quickly by clicking on this link, which will take me to the page to load the likes. And then all we have to do is click right here and paste. And then all of those profiles. So this is how you collect all those people. You can see all these different profiles here. Boom, just like that. And then we can leave a quick note on these cards. We'll call it Ron's first post, right? And all of a sudden, in just a couple seconds, we've actually imported all those people that have liked that. Look, 44 of them processed, 39 of them have been imported, 5 of them were already in, so they were ignored. Just showing you here that it eliminates all the duplicates. And now all I have to do is move these 39 people right into a pipeline, which is really, really simple to do. It's about 3 clicks. And then once somebody's ending up in a pipeline, we just start deploying the messages and the sequences. Back to you, Ron. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Another feature that I really have started to use more, and I think it's very valuable, is the prospect database. So the prospect database, and this is my explanation of it, but you guys can probably do a better job, is all of the people, all of the Facebook users that all of the Flowchat users have ever imported into the system. So us as a Flowchat user has access to that database. And I think you have like close to 2.3 million people in there right now, just from Facebook.
Just on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes. So just to be 100% clear, if you get yourself a membership to Flowchat and you import, say, a group of people into your account, that account and those people are not going to be shared into our database. We have a separate team that's actually out there hunting for people that we believe would be a good fit for the tool and a good fit for our members. So we have a team that's specifically looking for the different niches, the different things, that all of the things that were listed today, we have all of those people already. And so you can just simply come in here, and in Facebook alone, like Chris said, there's 2.2 million people that we already have sitting in this database, where, let's say, for example, you were searching for CEOs. All you'd have to do is type in CEO, hit apply filter, and it's going to take a couple seconds and rip through all 2 million. You can see now we have 47,000 plus people with the title of CEO. If you're hunting for CEOs, here's a really fast way to find 47,000 of them, which is pretty powerful. Now we could go to LinkedIn. We could do the same thing. See, so I click on the LinkedIn tab and then wait for this to load here. And we can see in our LinkedIn database, we actually have 3.1 million people in LinkedIn already. Okay. So now we can go back up here and type in CEO, just like I did, hit that apply filters. And very quickly, this thing's going to sort through all these people. And then everybody, as soon as it sorts here, it's just doing its thing. Don't know where it's going here. Popular search, CEO, apply. There we go. Okay, cool. So there's actually another 59,000 CEOs on LinkedIn. So between 74,000 and 59,000, that's an awful lot, hundreds of thousands of CEOs. That's a pretty amazing group of people to go through. Same thing with Instagram here. You can see in the database for Instagram, as soon as this loads, we actually have, I guess, the 320,000 people, over 320,000 people sitting here from Instagram. And then Twitter, I don't know how big this one is. Actually, I don't think we have any in that database quite yet, because we just moved on to that platform. That's the newest one. Yeah. So.
And a couple comments coming in here. One, it says, hey, I have the most success with cold calling, but I'm at my wit's end with it. And so it's so time consuming. Yeah, thanks for popping that up. I feel like I've tried everything. This has me intrigued. Yeah, hopefully continue to ask questions. Happy to help. This is the time to ask for sure. And there's one that came in. Is there a way to import a Facebook group list into LinkedIn to do a like and sequencing? And the general rule of thumb on this one is, if you're importing from a certain platform, bringing them across platform is like not the best idea, right? Because they're already on the platform. Let's just meet them there. It's kind of like meeting at an event in Florida and being like, hey, I got this other event like in Washington. Let's go over to Washington and like meet up there. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more friction to the process. Not impossible, but just not ideal. So if you're importing from a Facebook group, building a relationship, chatting on Facebook group is ideal. If you're on LinkedIn, if you want to talk to people on LinkedIn, you can go to LinkedIn groups. Another like really good hack is looking at LinkedIn events. Because, for example, some agency owners will say, oh, I want to talk with, people that are interested in, getting a new website or something. And so there might be like an event or a workshop around, hey, best practices on developing a website or something. And so there's going to be, entrepreneurs, business owners going to that event because they're looking and thinking about that type of content. Well, look at that, event, like attendee list, the registrant list on LinkedIn. Import that list and start reaching out to them. Hey, I was going to this event too. What are you hoping to get out of it? Just start that networking, very natural conversation. And here's what's fun. It's so damn easy to stand out in chat. People are like, oh, those messages, I hate those messages. When you start using Flowchat, you're going to start loving those messages. And here's why. Because you are not one of those people. You're not one of those people. When you're doing that, I'm being silenced here. I'm just kidding. I was like, Chris, stop talking. when you're in chat, like you get those messages, like, and when a message finally comes through that's like, whoa, like this person's actually human, you're gonna stand out like a sore thumb. Like you're just it's so easy. And then we actually started recording responses of people. Like we'll be on a call with them. I'll be like, hey, why'd you end up saying yes to jumping on the call? And I'll like be sharing my screen, but looking through our conversation we had together. It's like, well, it was so personal. Like you felt like you actually cared about me. You took time to. You can do those same things. You can do those same things, and you have a systematic way of doing it. You're going to build great rapport. You're going to build great connection. And like Sean was saying earlier, you don't, man, talking to 500 people, 1,000 people, man, if you have 150, even 200, like really quality people, and you're only closing, 40, 30, 10, 5, 2%, it's like, hey, like we've got a process. We got something that works here.
Yeah. And I think to answer that other question about the success with cold calling, what's really interesting about having a chat conversation, if I'm going to go back and share my screen here again, let me just do that and I'll click here. You'll be able to see it. So let me know if you guys can see my screen. Hopefully, I think, Ron, can you add that?
Yep.
So in the pipelines, right? So one of the things that we also have here is some baseline pipelines that a lot of our members actually start with. So if we're looking to just book a call, right? So we're going to do cold outreach, build a relationship, invite to a calendar, and make a sale. If we just looked at that one on its own, here's how you can relieve some of the pressure during those current high pressure sales calls that you're having. Well, you see, we ask them about their pain points, right? We follow up with them. We follow up with them a little bit. We end up to send them a booking link. And so through all of these steps, you can use any of these steps to actually have the conversation to narrow them out, right? The job of a sales professional is not to qualify and close. It's actually to disqualify, right? It's not the job of a sales professional is not to qualify and close. It's to disqualify people who are not a fit, who you can't help, right? Because we only want to help the people that we know have the problem. And if we turn our simple conversations through here, right? So for example, if I were going to send a message to Adam, right? So I'll just drag him as if I've sent a friend request to him. I'm going to click this button here and it's going to go right into Adam's messenger inbox. Now I've never met Adam, but I just want to show you how quick and effective this tool is. And as soon as it loads here, I can very quickly just right click right here and hit paste. And it says, hey, Adam, my team brought your profile to my attention because I'm searching for CEOs of agents, or I'm searching for agency owners. I'm searching for realtors. I'm searching for people that want to learn more about retirement. I'm searching for whatever, right? I've been in the game for a while and I'd like to start a chat if we see any common ground. Out of curiosity, do you struggle with a problem in your field or this world? Like, how simple is that? It's not this, hey, buy my stuff right now. No, I'm identifying whether or not Adam actually has a problem that I can solve. And I do that through running through these messages, right? And I continue to ask different questions. And eventually we get on a call and they buy something from us. And that's how that works, right? Because people buy from people they like and people they trust. Flowchat allows you to create the likability and the trustability on practically autopilot to where then you can just snap and close a deal. And that's where it goes. And this is how you manage pipeline flow. This is how you manage lead generation, lead nurture. And the only thing you have to do is have conversion. So another instance, and I'll just stop sharing here. is let's talk about, maybe you have a high performing sales page, or you have some sort of a webinar. Maybe you need to get eyeballs onto that webinar or that sales page, where you could create a Flowchat pipeline that, again, identifies whether or not the person's actually a fit for you. And then only you have the power to determine, yes, it's a fit. I'm going to send my link to this person now. And then it goes to them. They click and they watch and read a beautiful sales page that you know is already converting. Wham, you got them. Right? Some of our members are actually replacing paid advertising with Flowchat. It's possible. But Chris and I are of both of the belief of do the and strategy, where if ads are working, keep running them, add Flowchat into the mix and explode. That's the idea. Back to you, Ron.
Yeah. And just to be clear, I've known you guys for a long time, and you guys built your business with mostly without ads, right? Just this strategy.
Yeah,
We don't have, we
so
still to this day, we do not have a website up and running that's usable. We don't have, we never run any paid advertising.
Yeah.
And all we did is started running a Flowchat flow, because what Chris said in the very beginning, how do you close deals? And a lot of them, you just talk to people. That's it.
Yeah, you talk to more of the right people. It's more, you get more deals. So like people need to hear, and we're also kind of proving a point, right? No funnels, no challenges, no summits, no all the other things. Like we only have DM. We only have DMs, right? And targeted ways of starting conversations with people. With that, you can build $1 million business. You can build a 7-figure per year in sales business doing that. As long as you have, you solve a real problem, you're a real person, some of the basics. But Flowchat will take somebody typically doing maybe $10,000 a month in sales. They'll bring them to like 40 to 50,000. If someone's doing like $20 to $30,000 a month in sales, it'll bring you to about $100,000 a month in sales, because it magnifies the systems that the business already has going. It's bringing more of the targeted people, having more of those right quality conversations, and it's driving more sales. That's it. Once you're at $100,000 per month or more, there's different processes to scale beyond there. Simply just adding more headcounts, more profiles. Essentially, that's how you would scale. We're in that process right now, because we've had 6-figure months, and so we're looking to do our next target over the next 90 days to hit $250,000 per month in sales, and of course from there, then we'll go to $500,000. And so there's this whole journey of scale in the business cycle, but the core of it all is very simple, and it's just having more quality conversations with the right people.
Yeah, and here's the nice piece, guys. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about Flowchat, and it's something that you think would really serve your business, we're not going to sell it to you today. What you need to do is get on a quick call with us, because we are very, very particular about the people we actually let get involved with the software, simply because we don't like spammers. We don't want them in our system. And so we actually have a continual qualification process to make sure that you actually have a business that you can actually serve, that you can actually solve a problem. And when we establish that, guess what? The next questions are, how does Flowchat solve a problem for you? You're going to tell us, right? How and where are we going to use Flowchat in your business? Then you're going to tell us. And then we're going to talk about what success looks like. And that call that you're going to be booking, because there's going to be a link that's dropping somewhere around this video right now. Hopefully Ron's doing it. You're going to click that link, and it's just going to go to a calendar where you can book a time almost any time, right? We have specifically, it's not a sales force or a sales team that we've built. What we did is we found business owners like you, like us, like Ron, like other people who have taken this tool on and have had so much success. They're like, oh my God, I want to serve. And so they came back to us and they said, how can we continue growing the message about Flowchat? Well, the answer is, Chris and I, cannot talk with all the people that have interest in this tool right now. So we collected a small group of people that we believe are just having great success with the tool and understand the conceptualization behind how you can put it in or deploy it into other businesses like yours. And that's all we do on the call. We strategize, we give you this plan. And if it's the right thing for you, then boom, we hit the go button and we go together. We lock arms and we run at it, right? And we're going to go help you to make sure that you can generate enough natural, organic, authentic, real conversations with the right people so that you can grow your business on a sustainable path. And if that's what you're looking for and that's what you're into, if you don't book a call right now, you're insane. Sorry I said it, but I said it.
And just to sweeten it up a little bit, if anybody books through that link, I wasn't expecting to do this, but I will do a 30-minute session with you guys, helping you get set up Flowchat. Yep. And helping you get your pipeline set up. And I'll also share my pipelines and my messaging with you. So anybody is interested and wants to book a call, then I will definitely do that for you.
Ron's throwing a little holiday spice on it. Hey, if you could share screen real quick. I shut everything down on my computer, so and I'm not clicking around, so I'm optimistic at this point.
Is your screen or Sean's screen? Or
this should be mine. I think it's fine. Or he has the same screen up I have. And either way, on the connection call, a huge thing that I want to implement or just to address, because Sean is mentioning some really good things about why the call is important and the process to expect. I also want to hit on the who. This is your connection expert. You know who a connection expert is? It's actually a Flowchat member that is a fellow business owner. It's someone, like, you're not talking to just some sales whatever person. You're actually talking to another business owner, just like you, and just like us, that understands what you want, that's already using Flowchat, and can show, hey, here are the trends, here are the things that you want to do, here's what you're thinking, but here's like really what you want to ask, and then here's where you want to end. Like, you can just they can just cut right to it. And so this is a really value-packed call.
Sorry.
It's not a sales you want to.
Sorry.
What's that?
Sorry, there was a.
Oh no, is there double Chris going? Is it contagious? Am I breaking your computer now too? Goodness.
The Matrix, anyway, bro. You're getting cloned, right?
I just want to hit on the who. We want to be very upfront and set expectation accordingly. And here's like, this is a big theme that we have running. You can bring it back just to our normal. Grab a spot. There's a lot of availability. We've got business owners in different countries, so whatever time's good for you is going to work great. And now I forgot my other point. It's a really good one too.
Yeah, we were just talking about the who. I mean, like, who is this for? Like, this is for that business owner that, I mean, like, we've taken for example, gym owner, right? She had some offline gyms, and then she moved to the online space and helped her business, help her other gym owners is who she started targeting. She deployed Flowchat in her business, and she went from about $32,000 a month up to $65K in a single month. And that was after only like 3 months, right? So 90 days in, she doubled effectively her revenue. What would your business look like if you're able to double, if you're at that size? We talk about businesses that are a little bit bigger. We had a video marketing agency get involved with us, and she was doing about $40K a month, and she had a whole bunch of debt and all the other stuff. And we worked with her, and now she's clipping at $250,000 a month, $250,000. Oh my gosh, like, that's insane, right? So we had another young group of girls, 2 girls that wanted to work with other women, power women, women who scale, ladies who scale. And they started with us from zero. They took Flowchat into their world. They did $100,000 in just over, it was 120, it was like 124 days or something, from zero to $100,000 in revenue, new business. And then just in November, they hit us up in a message and they said, hey guys, thank you so much. I get the goosies every time I think about this, because she said, look, we are now hitting consistent $100,000 months because of Flowchat, because of the software, because of the tool belt, because of the way that the tool allows them to execute. So we have those. We've even tested it in bigger businesses. We have teams where there's a real estate coaching business, and they have 20 salespeople. What do? We scaled it out. So we have, this software is actually designed to be run by a virtual assistant. Hence, Ron is the man, right? And so if you think about that, right, we get the right trained virtual assistant understanding your world, running your system, and now you have a sales team of 20 people. Well, how do you scale that? Flowchat can handle all of that, which is really powerful. We worked with a different a video marketing business that actually helped realtors, another one. And we helped them go from about $600,000 a month. Now they're doing $2 million a months, right? It's a bigger organization. But my point is if you're in that business cycle where you have a proven product, you have a proven path, You've been in business for about a year, so you understand that there's some things. You tried other stuff. Maybe it hasn't worked. Maybe some of it is kind of working. Well, here's the easy button to put your business on steroids and run, right? And so what better choice, what better thing to do other than booking this call is the only thing you should do. Give yourself a gift for Christmas and book this call right now. Because I would love, look, Chris and I are not driven by dollars. We're driven by impact in your business. We've had all the impact we've ever wanted. We've built $1 million businesses. We've built $10 million businesses together, and we're going to continue. But Flowchat is now that engine that we can actually serve at such a high level and impact your business. And so instead of going out and spending a bunch of money on Christmas gifts and this and that and next thing, let's make 2022 the biggest year ever so you can spoil the bejesus out of the ones you love at the end of next year because you deployed Flowchat and because it actually worked for you. And so your Christmas gift from us is to just book that call. I promise it will be worth your time.
And Ron's going to like click buttons and set stuff up for you now. So on a call.
Yeah.
So awesome, guys. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us. I mean, I love Flowchat. That's why I had you guys on the call. I believe in the tool, and I just every day it surprises me because it gets better and better. So, you came out with my favorite, what I've been asking for a couple of weeks now. So
perfect timing.
I'm definitely going to be using that feature. So yeah, thank you guys again, and hopefully we'll get a lot of the group members to get you guys to come back.
Yeah, awesome. I'll just answer that one is how much is the tool, right? So the tool is going to be, there's a couple of different buckets that you may fall into, and that's why the strategy call is so valuable. It's as little as a couple $100 a month, and it can go upwards of $1,000 a month, depending on where you fit in the spectrum, right? So that's why, again, this call makes a lot of sense for you to get on and see if this is the right thing, because we want to know what success looks like. And that means we calculate dollar figures to see how quickly can we repay your initial investment. What's the return on your investment? What's the return on your energy putting it into the system, right? Because when you understand those numbers, you can grow any business to any size.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
And I see some comments going in there. Wow, Ron, you work at 2 a.m. He loves the 2 a.m. calls. So definitely.
just dial my cell phone at that time. You don't have to book your call. I'll be up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, we're definitely going to have you guys back. So
anytime, man. You're one of our favorite. You're one of our favorites, man. We were grateful for you and the service, man. You solve such a valuable problem for people in the market, and I'm just grateful to be locked arms and connected with you, brother. Thank you for having us today, and really grateful for you. So.
All right, guys. Well, that'll conclude it for today, and thank y'all for joining us, and we will see you guys next week, Wednesday, same time. See ya.
Woo! Book a call. Book a call. Book a call now.